What's going on YouTube? Ryan with Canopy Leather, and this is a follow-up video from my first, just kind of going through some of the types of leather that I offer in my shop, some of the aging and how they look and feel, the different tempers and usefulness of those tempers for you, what it means for break-in periods, and how they age over time. So I'm going to jump into it. Wanted to make sure that you knew that, again, 3 primary leathers, so Botero, Pueblo, and Waxy. Those are the 3 that I offer right now in a lot of different colors. Down on the bottom hand side, you'll see these are all new production wallets as of this week. That's why I'm taking a chance to do the video now, because I had a pretty wide variety of color options this week. Over the last few days, I got some orders in. So again, good blend of types of leather. And also on the top hand side are going to be some of the wallets that I've daily carried for a while. So you can kind of see what those look like. And I'll go through some of the differences. In this video, I'm going to talk through temper. I'm going to talk through also, break-in period, and then overall how the wallets will change over time, because I think as you order a wallet and you see some of the texturing, it's important to know how that texturing is going to change over time and how it's going to break in for you, so that way you get an idea of what you're buying. So on the left, I'm going to start with Botero, just because that's been the one that I've started with. It's one I'm most familiar with, and it's the one that most people, when they buy, will be familiar with as well, since it's kind of mirrored across the community. Some people use the Waxy and the Pueblo, but most people will use Botero as a standard option. So most familiar and most kind of common type of leather that you'll see. So temper and firmness are going to be very firm. So 8 out of 10, if not 9 out of 10 for Botero. It's a very stiff leather out of the box and coming to use. So when you get it, it's going to be a little bit firm. It's going to take a little bit of breaking in, as you go through your day-to-day chores. It's going to take a little bit of time to kind of work the cards in. So when you first get the wallet and you start putting your cards in, you'll see it might take a couple days to just get the capacity that you want in the wallet, and that's just something that you're going to have to use and kind of fiddle with. It always helps to kind of break it in, so just kind of opening and closing it, making sure that you're moving it around a little bit when you get it. That way it breaks in. But very firm leather, very beautiful leather. It's a little bit of a matte finish, as you can see, and it does take a burnish very well. So this leather is one that will, over time, not change a whole lot. You'll see it will loosen up, but overall, and this has got a little bit of nicks to it, but there's a little bit of aging and forming of the card in the back here, but not a lot, to be honest with you. Not as much as I've seen in the other wallets. So it stays pretty much the way that this has been, let's say 3 months in the pocket. So this one probably is a little bit more. Again, gets very supple, but still retains a pretty good firmness over time. So that's Botero. If you're trying to make a decision on a first leather for you, Botero is a great choice, and it's the one that will stay the closest to its original form throughout the times that you own it, probably. Moving into now the Pueblo. So tumbled finish, right? So this is going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be a little bit more supple out of the box. I would say firmness is probably about a 6 out of 10, and that's good for break-in period. You can probably get most of your cards that you want to get into the wallet the first few days. Again, a little bit of stretching does happen over time. Just kind of be mindful of that. But you can kind of see it's already very flexible leather. But very unique character, tumbled finish. Again, you can kind of see the differences. So one of the things important to know is that when you have something like a Botero, the flap tends to go in very easily because of the firmness. When you have the Pueblo, you kind of have to finesse it a little bit sometimes. This will, once you get everything in there and you spend some time with it and carry it, it gets a lot easier to do. But on first times through, you might have to kind of cinch it down, kind of work it in, find the right type of place that you want to get it to, and then kind of move through it. This one has been carried, I'd say about 6 months or so, off and on. And you can see some of the tumbling, most of the tumbling actually has gone away. And what you're left with is a very nice, again, matte, but not overly matte. You still can see some of the character in here, finish with the wallet. I like it a lot, actually. I think it ages very well, and it smooths out over time in your pocket. So most of this roughness will go away over time, and what you're left with is a very nice finish and a nice, kind of tumbled matte look with a little bit of character. Not a lot of pull up, obviously, because there's not a lot of oils in this one. But this leather is very nice for those that want a supple leather with a matte tumbled finish and a little bit of a break-in period that is different than Botero. That's the Pueblo. Now to the waxy. So infused, a lot more oil in these. So you'll see pull up. You can kind of see that there. Very supple. So 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's probably it's less. This is more supple than the Pueblo. On average, this is probably the most supple leather that you'll find. So break-in period for the waxy isn't going to be that bad. It will take on the order of maybe a few days, again, to kind of work through cards that you have in here. Again, I don't recommend you overstuff the wallets. I think it's important to kind of work in your minimum carry that you carry with these, and then kind of work up to your capacity. I try to remove cards that I don't need anyway, so good opportunity for you to kind of go through that, and then maybe remove some cards that you don't use every day. But for the waxy, this is a blend, but the wrap is a waxy, so I can kind of use it in that capacity. So the waxy is a very interesting leather. It's probably got the most character out of all of them. I think based off of what you can kind of see here, the grain is just beautiful. The oils are beautiful, and out of the box, it's just one of the most striking types of leather that I carry. Again, not to put down anything like Botero, but I mean, just in general, you can kind of see the differences of the types of leather that you're going to be getting, and some of the character of it. What else can I say? So over time, here's one that's been carried. I carried this one a lot. This one probably has about 7 or 8 months on it, and you can kind of see what's happened to it. It still has pull up. It still has, character when it wants, when you have, a little bit of movement to it. But in general, it will kind of blend down and fade in patina. This will become more brown as it patinas, as it oxidizes, and as it gets more exposure. I do recommend that you continually condition these wallets with Obenaufs as you go through. It's important to introduce oils into the wallet as you use it, because it will go away over time with air and with time in your pocket. So this is a green. Not a lot of time on this one. This one's got maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks on it. But again, you can kind of see most of the initial character of the wallet will blend into more of a matte finish, but it still has that supple feel. Again, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. Depending upon the color, it can vary between the colors as well. I've noticed that the natural is probably the most supple, and then these are probably a 6 out of 10 and a 7 out of 10. So you'll notice that too. If you order multiple wallets with different types of colors, you might see some slight variance in between, even within the same genre of leather. You'll see some slight difference in the types of firmness and stuff. But again, a very interesting leather nonetheless, and I think it's worthy of a lot of colors. I'm trying to add colors slowly to the shop. I think right now I've tried to get greens, blacks, naturals, cognac, some yellow and Botero. I've got a couple of things that I like. Basically what I'm going to do is I try to filter in things that I like and see. So I'm going to try and get a red for the waxy. I think that was pretty striking. And then I wanted to leave on, so last piece, a new leather, not new to me, but new for the shop, is this Gaucho oil. So I've experimented with this for a few years now. I've had some in black, I've had some in cognac, and I just really like it. It's you know, so if you're looking at the differences here, you can kind of see there is a matte, firm, a tumbled, semi-supple, a glazed version. So this is kind of going to fill that glazed niche, and then a waxy or very heavily oiled, very supple. So this Gaucho oil, I would say, is a little bit more firm than these two. So we're looking at about a 6 or 7 out of 10. And it is just you know, again, a little bit, it reminds me a lot of Butero with a glaze. It's very well done in terms of the finish. The patina is on this one's going to be excellent. I think it's a good blend between the suppleness of these and the, you know, the structure of the Butero. So right now I just have natural on hand. I will be building it up, but it does incur costs. So that will be something that over time I will look to introduce more leather for the Gaucho oil. But that's all I have for you tonight. I wanted to keep this one pretty short. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope if you have any questions, you message me on Etsy. Thanks.